I want you to repeat the mantra in your head. I am wealthy. I am wealthy. Over and over and over again. I am wealthy. It's like, I don't want to change. I like it this way. What do you mean? I mean, are you really justified in saying this? And no. It's like, those are the obstacles to change, and that's what my teacher said. The hardest thing to do is to change a person's mind. And that's why we did that exercise, because that's really what you are working on in terms of acupuncture techniques, is changing someone's mind. Because they have certain ideas about who they are and how life is based on their experiences. And those ideas are what's making them sick. Technically, you could treat any problem using any point on the body, because that point is a bioavailable moment. Because if you find the empty space, you can channel the possibility of change from anywhere in the body. But of course, that requires a really high level of cultivation.
She reflects what the patient is asking for, and then that becomes a way that they are able to see themselves and heal themselves.
So, in terms of our discussion, we need to talk about cultivation. Because needling techniques really come from a practitioner's cultivation of their spirit. It's important for the practitioner to project an internal imagery. So you have to create a flow of energy within yourself. And you have to create sensitivity in your fingers. That's where change occurs, at the fingertips. And that's what you're using as your tool, the fingertips. That's where change occurs. So you're using a part of your body that changes really easily to channel the idea of increased possibilities to the patient. Okay? So the way to practice making a connection and finding the empty space is done in push hands with Tai Chi or Xingyi. Xingyi also has a version of push hands. So, if you all don't mind, throwing you into push hands when you haven't had a lot of training is maybe not the fairest thing to do, but at least you'll get an idea of what's going on. The idea with push hands is to stay connected.
Would it surprise you that when we shot the workshop that you did, when you introduced the push hands section, you blew the tape out? And it wasn't just one tape, it went through two tapes.
It went through two tapes. No, that wouldn't surprise me one bit. So I let it rip. I just let it blow. I mean, I just totally opened my crown chakra and just poured out the energy. And as soon as I did, all the lights went on. Everything shut down at that exact moment.
And if I asked you, yeah, would you answer me? And if I reach out to you, would you reach out for me? Said I gotta know that I rule my destiny. Yeah, said I know, and you know that we are just people, and we're all searching for the same thing. But it seems like every time that I am closing my eyes, I'm dreaming of you, girl. I feel so hypnotized, but this song is not just another love song. Said sometimes I gotta be strong, and I gotta carry on.
When you were at my head, I felt waves kind of pulsating through my body, and I definitely felt heat when you were over my lungs. And as you were doing the Qigong, it felt like it was expanding my chest and the heartbeat, which was good because I felt like there's been a weakness there for a little while.
So that's when you start to hit your first kind of blocks with yourself. And that's where you have the opportunity to either transform those or be scared of them and reinforce the habitual patterns.
How do you transform them?
You hit that point as opposed to being scared and trying to force it or trying to kind of control it with your mind. Try to flip it and be like, no, the breath is actually what's nourishing me. The breath is actually what's feeding me. And it's through this grace, it's through this, just divine love that it keeps coming in. It's not like you had any control over the fact that you're getting this wonderful form of nourishment. And it's always there, regardless of whether you remember it or you don't remember it. Having that attitude, I think, will deepen your breath on its own. Just that change in attitude will change the mechanics and the techniques involved in your breathing pattern. So as you inhale, your belly should expand. Good. And as you exhale, your navel should contract. So try to get your breath lower. When you have that intention in terms of breathing, then it's not about how deep can it go, how much can I take, but really it's more like eating, where there's plenty of food, there's plenty of breath, it's always going to be there. It's not necessarily about getting so much at one time, it's just about taking enough, like you're saying, so nurturing yourself. And now as a healer, it's like I'm almost doing my karma, right? I'm almost like paying up front because I've taken on the role of a healer, of allowing people to bring me their pain, bring me their sickness, and bring me their troubles, and trying to help them learn how to transform that in themselves. So when someone comes to me and they want a treatment, I won't say, I'll make you better. Never. I can teach you how to become better, but I'm not going to make you better. When I start a practice or I finish a practice, I dedicate it to my teachers. I just ask that they continue to bless me with their experience and their knowledge and be open and share it in the same way that I do with all of my friends and all my students and all my patients. And that is kind of the real practice, is being able to share what you learn in your room, in your yoga studio, on your mat, in front of your altar, whatever it is. But to take that and then be able to recognize all the difficult situations that you put your body into are really just a hologram for the situations that you get into in life. And that if you can work your way through those with the breath, then you can work your way through your job, your relationships, work, whatever it is.
I know you heard this before, but you about to hear it again, yeah. I know you heard this before, but you about to hear it again, yeah. I said so many times, words get in the way of what I'm trying to say. I said so many times, words. Yeah, it's like to you what is true is what you're running from, and to me what is real is what I'm running right to. I said speak from my heart, that's what I'm gonna do. Don't forget in this world who be running you, yeah. Cause it's cold outside when you have no shelter. In this lifetime you played the cards that they dealt y'all. The people in your life you're so sure that they felt you, but I'm not feeling you. I said so many times, words get in the way of what I'm trying to say. I said so many times, words. Yeah, I said so many times, words get in the way of what I'm trying to say. I said so many times, words. Yeah, it's like to you what is true is what you're running from, and to me what is real is what I'm running right to. Say speak from my heart, that's what I'm gonna do. Don't forget in this world who be running you, yeah. Cause it's cold outside when you have no shelter. In this lifetime you played the cards that they dealt you. The people in your life you're so sure that they felt you, but I'm not feeling you. I said so many times, words get in the way of what I'm trying to say. I said so many times words. Yeah, I said so many times words get in the way of what I'm trying to say. I said so many times words.
I think one of the beautiful things about the people that I've met is that there's this incredible fusion that's going on right now. You know, a lot of the teachers at our school say acupuncture has never been taught like it's being taught in Santa Monica right now. In the course of the world, you know, in the history of the world, acupuncture has never been taught like it's being taught in Santa Monica right now. And it's because, you know, we can go down the street and we can find people that do Rolfing, homeopathy, yoga therapy, you know, all these different modalities, and it's all centralized right in my backyard, you know, right in Santa Monica. It's not necessary to go to the Himalayas or to go to Kathmandu, you know, or go to all these distant lands to find, you know, these wonderful practices. It's right here. And having it so close to you makes it accessible so that you can understand that it's really inside of you. So you see it in all these different people, and there's all these different people around us that have all these wonderful things to share. And hopefully that becomes the inspiration that triggers you to go find out what it is that you want to practice. You know? But again, it's not something that you can just go to a lecture and then you get it. You go to a lecture and then you get inspired to figure out what it is that you want to experience. But it's the experience of the practice that's timeless. That's the space where you're not focused on the future and you're not focused on the past, but you're just focused on the breath, which is constant.
There's a natural mystic blowing through the air. And if you listen carefully now, you are here. This could be the first trumpet, might as well be the last. Many more will have to suffer, many more will have to die. Don't ask me why. These things are not the way they're meant to be now. I won't tell no lies.
I had barley soup out for dinner tonight and yesterday.
Just what to get it.
That shit is pretty tight. Keep your liver right. Not to mention your spleen. Gonna not to mention your spleen. When I go there, I like to throw in a bay leaf or two. Maybe some ginger. Shoot, maybe some cardamom too. Shucks. Cardamom too. Just give me a big old handful of green. All I need is the greens. Even though Tara don't like them. Oh, come on, Tara. Just a couple more bites.